5.
All
We're
right.
live on
Yes.
YouTube. Oh, hello. My name is Heather Parker, founder of Soul Knowing Energy Healing. This is my dear friend and mentee, Dominique Colding, the amazing, phenomenal Dominique Colding.
Thank
And
you.
we're here for our weekly rounds of Reiki Clinic and continuing on our quest to discuss anxiety and Reiki. So, how does Reiki help? In addition to that, like, what is anxiety? Where do you feel it in your
Mhm.
body? And all the other things that come along with that. Because there's layers to it, right? So,
Yes.
um, per usual, um, Dominique likes to bless the space, and we love it when she does. So, Dominique, I give it to you.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. And I'm going to burn a little bit of Palo Santo. So I'm just going to raise it up here. I got a fan going. So get this ignited. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. So thank you, Sacred Palo Santo, for blessing this space and cleansing and purifying our auras, the energy, our subtle bodies, energetic bodies, emotional bodies, physical bodies, mental, spiritual, everyone that is watching the live and also the replay. And um, I just pray and command that all of the negativity will turn into positivity, and this space is clear, and we are so grateful. So mote it be, and so it is. Ashe, ashe, ashe. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Um, and thank you, everybody out here, just for bearing with us while we explore these technological streets. And how brave are we to do this during Mercury retrograde? Mhm. For our second time on YouTube Live. However, Dominique is an Aquarius. I am a Leo. We are in the age of Aquarius, so
Yes.
we do have some things working for us, and
Mm-hmm.
retrogrades aren't all bad. They're not all bad. So, um, figuring out this lighting and dealing with all of this hair, though, that's the thing. Like, why is lip gloss sticky? Questions I have. I know, so silly. Um, whew, touching on anxiety. Well, one, um, I've been practicing Reiki for 6 years or so. Um, I tuned in Reiki's level 1, 2, 3, and I know you don't necessarily need anyone's certifications to tap into what the universe already has for us. However, we also live in a linear world, so sometimes these things just help other people find comfort that, oh, okay, you've practiced something for a little while, and
Mm-hmm.
that's really what it is. I think what's really special in my experience of Dominique is her genuine care, um, to help people. Also, um, her ability to go into deep spaces without much tethering. And
Mm.
that is definitely a gift. So whether you're here just to learn about Reiki and the topics we choose to dive into, or you're looking for some support, you want some free distance healing, I will attest to Dominique that she is fine-tuned with her intuition, and she doesn't question it. She doesn't question it, even if it sounds funny or it makes her nervous.
Mm-hmm.
She'll still tell you what it is. And I think that's a beautiful gift. And I've witnessed her be spot on time and time and time and time again. So that's my gift, and so grateful to be able to share it. Um, we chose anxiety as a topic to discuss, and this isn't going to be our last time discussing it because, again, anxiety is layered. Um, However, we've both experienced anxiety in different ways, and because we both love Reiki,
Experienced anxiety in different ways.
uh, why that's um, beneficial. So, how Reiki is beneficial um, for anxiety. So, I'm thinking it's important just to understand or to clarify just off the bat that there's absolutely nothing, zero things wrong with experiencing anxiety. Um, Being anxious is a natural reaction. Our nervous system is designed to support us, to protect us, to alert us to dangers. Sometimes it's convoluted, and I will restate that we're not medical practitioners, we're not doctors or psychologists. If you're dealing with something serious, we encourage you to seek out medical attention. Reiki is a great complement to those practices. Um, and then back to it. We all have nervous systems, and we live in a world that is often chaotic, depending on where we grow up, our family structures, our choices, and life experiences all contribute to what we're experiencing in our body. And that's all parts of our body. So our nervous system is part of it. And sometimes regulating our nervous system can be difficult. And just to give you a couple of examples, personally, I grew up in a household where emotions, it was hard to discuss feelings. It was very hard to discuss feelings. Yet, as an early childhood teacher, someone who studied early childhood, as well as all the levels of child development from birth, to 12th grade, right, to 18, 0 to 18. Knowing that the first 7 to 9 years are prominent time frame where we develop our understanding about ourselves, the world, and what things mean. So if anyone's experiencing family or whatever, just environment, maybe it's not your family, maybe it's your friends, or maybe you didn't grow up with your family. All of those things compile into our subtle bodies. And if we're not shown how to regulate our nervous system in that time frame, then we automatically go into surviving. So how do you survive when you aren't free to feel or express your feelings, or no one knows how? Because we're not here to blame, shame, or anything else with parents or peoples. We're just talking because we like me, the man in the mirror, I want to be able to do better. So how do I regulate my nervous system? How do I cope with what I'm feeling? And I'm a feeler. Like, I have big feelings, and it's taken a lot of work for me to learn how to, like, one, determine what's mine, what someone else's, and how to communicate in a way that's healthy, respectful of other people and myself. Because not everybody wants to respect us. And we also have to navigate through those parts, right? And all of that can trigger anxiety in our bodies, in our spirits, in our subtle bodies. So with that being said, I'd love to invite Dominique to speak on this. And I have muted you because of the background, but not because I don't want to hear you. And I'm going to mute myself.
Yes. Well, thank you, Heather. I think you really explained that very eloquently. And I too grew up in a household where I believe that all of my family members, we didn't really talk about emotions. And, for me personally, I used to stuff my emotions a lot. And I still sometimes struggle with that. It's baby steps, like life is all about, learning lessons, and you don't have to, you never like arrive, you just continue to learn and grow, trial and error, all of that. So I remember when it comes to anxiety for me, growing up, when I would feel anxious, about something, I would just hold it in. Like I didn't feel comfortable like sharing like what was on my heart or like what I was feeling. And I did, keep a little journal for a while. Like I had moments where like I kept, like the little journal with the lock, the little tiny lock and key and all like that. Now I like to journal quite frequently. It's something that I like to keep, like almost in my daily practice or like weekly practice. So I found that now as an adult, to regulate my nervous system, I find that rest is like the number one thing. And as you mentioned at the beginning of the stream, we're in a Mercury retrograde right now. And Mercury retrograde, I feel like the biggest thing, especially with this Mercury retrograde in the sign of Virgo, and it's Virgo season, is all about resting and evaluating, like your routines, like your health, your mental hygiene. Like to say, your mental health, your mental hygiene, your spiritual hygiene, physical hygiene, everything. Like just slowing down and like taking inventory of what, I would say like maybe this past season, like maybe like the beginning of the summer, or even like the first half of the year, because we're like halfway through the year, like kind of evaluating, whether it's taking mental notes, like reflecting, or, even journaling. Okay, this is what the first 6 months was like. This is how, I was feeling, whatever resonates with you. And then just taking this time as the summer starts to wind down, and we're going to be moving into fall in about a month, and just getting ready, because I can feel it too, like, as you said, like, I'm also a feeler. We're both very empathic, and it's like you can feel the energy just kind of slowing down a little bit, like the kids are going back to school, and like at work it's picking up. Like at my day job, I work for the California Attorney General's office, so we have a lot of interns coming in, and a lot of graduate legal assistants, honors attorneys, and so we're going to have like so many extra trainings in the month of September. And I have noticed that this year, I have not felt as anxious as I have in the past. I've been working in my position for the past 3 years now, a little over 3 years. And I used to get just really bad anxiety. Before the whole pandemic, I was a legal secretary, and I worked, for the same California Attorney General. And I remember I used to just be so stressed out, just nerves, just completely gone. And this was also before I learned about Reiki and before I became a Reiki practitioner. I'm attuned in Reiki 1 and 2. And I remember I had like a really bad physical reaction. Like this was like 2017, 2018. I had really bad eczema and like hives. Like this is how stressed I was. Like my body, my skin just like broke out in hives, and it was terrible. But fast forward again to now, there's a sense of calmness, there's a sense of peace, because it's like, okay, like I'm familiar with this routine. Like as we move into fall, like things personally are kind of slowing down. Work is picking up, but I know it'll just be like for the month of September, and then we go into, the Christmas holidays and, all the other holidays in November, December, So with all of that, I'm going to land this plane. With all of that, like through this time of like peace, yet there's, just a lot of things coming down the pipeline, a lot of things that are going to be coming onto my plate. It's like I can foresee it. I can plan better for it. So planning, what you can, like if you know that, okay, I have, a full schedule coming up, I have all these things that need to get done, whatever the case may be, planning for those things, like writing it down or just making sure that you set up the time to make sure those things get done. And the other thing that I like to do, yet I said rest. So rest, writing things down, or just, allotting that time. And like with Reiki, I will, a lot of times while I meditate, and I would love to meditate every day. I don't get to meditate all day. I mean, every day, but I do meditate several times a week. So during those times of meditation, I will incorporate Reiki. Like I'll, place my hands, on my head. Like if I'm feeling brain fog or a lot of brain pressure, I will place my hands on my head to kind of just allow the energy, allow the Reiki to just flow in and to relieve some of that pressure and that fog. Or if sometimes I'll have like anxiety, like in my chest, or even like my throat chakra will sometimes get tight. So I will also, place my hands like on my throat chakra, or like on my chest, on my heart chakra. Sometimes like on my solar plexus, which is right, on your diaphragm. I can feel uneasiness there as well. So I just allow myself to just be still in those moments and breathe. Breathing deeply is another tactic that I use. So those are some of the things that I do. So rest is number one. writing things down, journaling, creating that space, giving yourself enough time to do things, and then also meditation and deep breathing. So that is what I like to do, and that is what helps me. And I think we may have lost Heather. Let me see. She sent me a text. Okay, she's having technical difficulties. So we will be right back.
All right, so I got kicked off, and I think Dominique finished. So wow. Anxiety. There's general anxiety, and then there's also anxiety disorders. I think we'll get into that a little bit more next time. And then also talk about how Reiki helps with anxiety. And again, Reiki is a complement not a substitution for medical or psychological attention. If you would like to receive Reiki, distance healing from myself and Dominique, please respond, message us, send us an email, and we'll be happy, more than happy to send you or your loved ones some Reiki between now and next week. So with that being said, please make sure that you hit that like and subscribe buttons, and turn on your notifications so that you can vibe with us every Thursday at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. Have a beautiful evening and a beautiful weekend. Happy Virgo season, and y'all take care of yourselves during this Mercury retrograde. Peace.